Is stress weighing you down more than usual? It's 2020, December of 2020 at the time I'm shooting this video, and as we know, 2020 has been an interesting year. We can't go to some of the restaurants we want to go to. We can't get together with family members like we used to. And it's become a big problem for our society. It's increased a lot of stress in people's lives. My name is Dr. Zach Shaw. I'm with the Upper Cervical Spine Center here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And one common thing we have seen in 2020 is our patients, our current patients, our new patients, they're all coming in with increased stress. Now, stress can be in three different forms: physical, chemical, and emotional. Physical stresses include things like injuries, car accidents, slips and falls, sports injuries, things of that nature. Chemical stresses are things that our body doesn't necessarily deal with well. So toxins in our food or water, the air we breathe. And then emotional and mental stress is a beast of its own. Now, we see lots of depression, anxiety, panic attack disorders in our office. These people can't handle stress very well, and we see amazing results with upper cervical care. But now we're starting to see people come in with more of this. Not necessarily a diagnosis per se, but just feeling worn down, more fatigue, less energy. They're not as happy because of everything going on and this increase in stress in our society. And so, how, as upper cervical doctors, can we help with stress? Well, stress is all due to a lack of adaptation in our body, okay? When we experience stress, whether it's the physical, chemical, or emotional, our body is designed to be able to handle it, deal with it, and get on, okay? But when this stress wears us down, it's quite literally because our body is unable to adapt to this stress. So we have to ask, why is the body not adapting to this stress? Well, it all has to do with our nervous system, which is exactly what we check for. We look specifically at the level of the brainstem, which is where the top two bones in your neck surrounds, okay? And if there's a misalignment at one of those top two bones, putting pressure on the brainstem, this creates interference in our nervous system. That creates interference between our brain and our body, and therefore a lack of adaptation occurs. This lack of adaptation causes us to feel that worn down feeling, fatigue, that increase in stress, low energy type of feeling. It also causes conditions to arise in our body, whether it's neck and back pain, whether it's migraines, headaches, digestive disorders, autoimmune issues. All of these things are directly due to the body not being able to adapt to common stressors. Think about it this way. If you and me are pulling a chain on either end, okay, eventually that chain's gonna give the longer we pull. And it's going to give at the spot of the weakest link. That weak link in the chain is what eventually is gonna give. And this is exactly how stress in our body works, okay? Our body works constantly, but that weak link in our spine eventually gives into that stress where the chain breaks, or our spine doesn't quite literally break, but that stress really just kind of wrenches that nervous system, causing you to not be able to handle it as well, okay? Maybe you experience things like depression, anxiety. Maybe you just have a lack of energy, you have fatigue, or maybe other conditions are occurring like we talked about previously. And so, if you or a loved one are dealing with increased stress, which I know a lot of people are, especially given the pandemic in this 2020 year, give our office a call. We're in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. Our office number is 704-588-5560. We would be happy to check your upper cervical spine, see if there's pressure on the brainstem that could be causing you to not be able to handle this stress as well. If you're not in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, give our office a call anyway, and I promise we will find an upper cervical doctor as close to you as possible. I hope you have a great rest of 2020. If you're watching this video in future years, I hope all this stuff is over and this was just a mere memory. So again, let's get checked. Let's get the nervous system back to where it needs to be so it can handle that stress that your body should be able to adapt to.